Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the 2019 Bighorn North Edition. Now, I picked this North Edition package because aesthetically I think it's a really good looking package, and then on top of that I do think it's a great value. But as always, we'll do a quick walk around the truck, go over the key features, then we'll take it out to see how it drives. Big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller, Dodge, Ram, and Sandy here for providing us with the vehicle to review today. And then if you are stopping for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. Oh, starting under the hood here of the 2019 Bighorn North Edition, we can see a 5.7 liter Hemi and all the 19s here with this new DT body style. They've moved the engine a little bit further back, and that's for better weight distribution. It also makes it more safe from a frontal crash test rating. But you're going to get 395 horsepower out of this engine and 410 pound-feet of torque. It's all routed through an 8-speed automatic transmission. You can get an e-torque option, which will give you an extra 130 pound-feet of torque from the standstill. And then in terms of fuel economy, it's going to be 21 on the highway, 15 around town, and then 18 combined. The e-torque will add about a mile per gallon on each of those. Now, wrapping things up on the front exterior, so kind of what this North Edition does to the Bighorn, you'll notice that it gives you body painted bumpers, and it gives you body painted on the front fascia as well, so there's no chrome on the front end of the truck other than the Ram logo. But it does not black out the headlights like a traditional sport appearance package with Ram. And then these are your regular halogen head bulbs that come with the Rams. You can see that there's parking sensors integrated down below on the bottom of the bumper, black tow hooks as well, and then you can see your fog lamps are just down there, and then all of the Bighorns are going to have these little black slits that go across the front. Now, looking at the tire and rim setup here, the North Edition actually gives you these more aggressive on-road, off-road tires. You can see that with the tread. These are 18-inch rims, and that's just because with the higher profile tires, you are going to go for a smaller sized rim just to make up for that. But I definitely like the look of this tire setup. And if you wanted to go, a little bit sportier, you could black out the rims if you want. And then you do get 4x4 badging on the side of the truck with the North Edition as well. Popping it back, this is the key fob for the North Edition. It says Ram on the back. You have your couple functions, so you get your lock and unlock, your panic button, and then your remote start. So the remote start, you just press that twice. First time we'll lock the truck. Second time we'll do the start function on it. You hear the 5.7 Hemi come to life, and then if you press that button again, that will shut the truck right off. Now, looking at the back of the truck here, we can see the dual exhaust tips that come with the 5.7 Hemis with the Rams. You'll see the Bighorn badging as well as the 4x4 badging with the big Ram logo in the center. You got a little backup camera that goes right down to the receiver hitch just down there, and we can pull open this bed. It is slow lowering with the tailgate, and then we can see the bed back here. You could get a bed liner if you'd like, and then there is a power rear sliding window in the back with the cargo light up top. Now, stepping in the back here, we can look at the door panel here on the Bighorn North Edition. You actually have some leather padding here with some contrasted stitching, nice and soft to rest your arms on. You can see the speaker just right there. You do get some cup holders down below. This is gonna be the fun part, so do get a bunch of different floor mats. This one has the rubber floor mats that came equipped with it. There's some ice buckets down here in the back. You can pull those out. The seats do fold up for a little bit of extra storage space underneath. It is a flat loading floor. And then you do get some USBs and a full power outlet back here with some vents in the rear. Now, coming around to the front before we pop in, this one has the trailer mirrors on it. So you pop open these mirrors and that'll show you the trailer tow mirror function. They are manual fold away. You can get power folding mirrors. They are a little bit smaller on the truck, but that being said, it does not have keyless entry. So you just open it with the key fob like normal. We can see the door panel here for the front. Looking at the door panel here, we get this nice trim with some cloth insert and then more of the leather bolsters with the contrasted stitching. All of our window controls are going to be right here with our mirror controls as well. Door handle actually feels pretty premium. More cup holders down there, and then we do have our controls for the power adjustable seats. So you got power, and then you have your lumbar support as well. Now, looking over here, we have a couple controls. We've got our controls for the power adjustable pedals, your parking brake. You've got your light controls just above. I usually leave in automatic mode. Those are for your fog lights, your cargo lights, and then those are to dim these screens. Then you can see the pedal layout down below, and then this is for your hood latch. There is steering wheel adjustment on top of that. And then before we step in, just looking at the seats here, they've got these nice little bolsters on it. Sorry about my shadow right there. But nice bolsters on these seats, but they're not super narrow, so it's actually pretty comfortable. And then there is some contrasted stitching in the cloth, so definitely really premium look for cloth seats. Now, stepping in, step in height is a little bit higher. You might want to get running boards with this truck. But now that we're inside, you just have to put your foot on the brake and push the push start button, and the truck will start right up. And the gauges also do a sweep. It says Bighorn in the center screen right there. I've got a couple controls here on the steering wheel. We've got our cruise control right there. We've got our gear selector over here, Ram logo, front and center. And then we've got our controls for the center screen. We'll go over the center screen momentarily. These are controls for your Bluetooth and phone controls. There are little rocker panels on the back of the steering wheel so you can control the radio, and then there is some stitching on this steering wheel, and it is a leather wrapped steering wheel in the Bighorn. Now, my apologies for a little bit of glare, but over on the left side, you can see the tachometer with the RPMs, and there's a temperature gauge. And then over on the right side, the speedometer with the fuel gauge. And then you have that center screen that I went over. I'm gonna scroll through all the menu for you guys so you can see all the different menus that you can go through, but it gives you a bunch of different information on the truck that you can go through on, calling, texting, emails, all that kind of stuff. It's just nice that they give you all these menus. I usually leave mine to just be a speedo, that being said. Now, we've got a couple other cool functions with this North Edition. We're gonna go over those in a second, but first we've got little charging stations just down below here. There is a little cubby that pulls out for extra storage down there. But now onto these functions. We've got an axle lock, hill descent control. That's your shifter to go in the different drive modes. So you got your true neutral right here, sorry. You couldn't see that, but 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel low, 4-wheel auto, and 4-wheel high as well. Up at the top here, we have our 12-volt power outlet, more of that nice trim. And then coming down to the touch screen right here, it is the 8.4-inch unit, and I'm excited. This is the first time that I've shown this unit in one of the new 19 trucks. Really responsive. This is probably the unit that I'd go for just because I like the look of it, and the 12-inch screen is a little bit overwhelming for me. But you can get heated seats and the heated steering wheel in this North Edition. See a little mirror dimmer, but this is all like drag and drop of these functions. So you hold things down, you can put them in the sidebar, and then your radio is going to be in here. Now, a really important function is the backup camera. You can see the backup camera right there. You do have a zoom function to go under the receiver hitch, but backup camera is crystal clear. One of the better backup cameras in the car industry. Got a little line right there in the center, so when you're hooking up to a trailer, it'll make that a lot easier. Now we'll turn that off. Coming down below, we've got our controls for the volume right here, heated seats and steering wheel controls. They've got analog buttons for it, and that's why I like the 8.4-inch touchscreen, is because you can still get the analog buttons as well as touchscreen buttons, which is a 12-inch screen, kind of gets rid of some of that stuff. But dual zone climate in this particular truck, and then we do have the trailer brakes, your stability control, tow haul mode, and then that's to turn on or off the parking sensors just down there. And this has the bench seat, and I don't think I've gone over this either, but you can see this folds up and you get a little USB there, cup holders here. This folds up to be a third seat, and then underneath you actually get a little CD player down there and some extra storage space. Coming around to the glove box area, we've got a dual glove box, so you've got one on the top and then one on the bottom. And so there's plenty of storage space over there. So there is a power rear sliding window, so you press that button and that will open up the power rear sliding window and close it. Wrapping things up for the interior, it's definitely a really premium feeling interior. This is kind of like your middle of the line trim, and they use actually pretty nice materials, especially the cloth seats. They feel really nice, and the design on them looks really nice. And so just for the price point that these trucks are at compared to a lot of their competitors, I would say the interior is definitely a lot nicer. But that being said, let's take the 2019 North Edition out to see how it drives. Setting off here in the 2019 Bighorn North Edition, and just like with all of the other new Rams, I like the look over the hood, and it took me a minute with this new body style, but I definitely prefer this new body style compared to the previous generation now. What I'm noticing first setting off, just like all of the other Rams, suspension is super smooth. It just floats along the road, and it's definitely a lot quieter than the prior generation of Rams. Visibility throughout this truck's really good, so it's pretty much just like a giant glass window, if that makes sense. So there's not really any blind spots, and then these trailer mirrors with the secondary mirror to the side give you visibility all around the truck, and so it's really easy to see out this truck. The only thing is the hood's a little bit higher, so it's a little bit more difficult to see over the hood, but it's not bad by any means. The steering on this truck's really light, and that's expected. Most trucks nowadays are like that. It's pretty direct. There's a little bit of vagueness, but again, it's expected with the truck. And what I would say on that is they've pretty much tuned it perfectly. It definitely feels better than the steering on the 2018s. And back onto the suspension, even though this is like the middle of the line trim, it's just as smooth as like a Laramie. The air suspension, I feel like, doesn't really make the truck all that much smoother, and so these standard coilovers are perfect if you want to have a really smooth suspension. Let's get a little bit of an acceleration here to see what this truck's got with the 5.7 Hemi. Yeah, I mean, it's more than enough power. This one has the 392 gears in the rear end, so it gets up and goes more than quick enough, and you're gonna get some tire spinning if you just full throttle from a dead stop. Now, to wrap things up on the 2019 Bighorn North Edition, I really like this truck. You guys know that I'm not a huge fan of chrome. Sorry if that offends anyone, but I like the fact that this has the body painted bumpers, but I like the value with this truck. This one has the level 2 equipment group with the Bighorn, and it gives you like a value savings package with the truck. And so this truck stickers for about $50,000 before discounts, and everyone knows that Ram always has quite a bit in terms of discounts on the trucks. But this truck's really like loaded up for that price range, and it has the nicer look that I like. The only thing I'd change is maybe black out the rims. But I really do like this North Edition, so if you are in the market for a new truck, definitely check out one of the new Rams. They have won Truck of the Year, but I would check out the Bighorn North Edition, and if your dealers aren't keeping them in stock, look for one, because it's definitely a really cool package, and I noticed that there's not a lot out there, so it's also a unique truck that you could have. And there we have it, everyone, the 2019 Bighorn North Edition. Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you are stopping in for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe, comment down below what you thought, and then again, big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller, Dodge Ram, and Sandy. If you're on the market for a new truck, definitely check these guys out, but I will see all of you in that next video.